Chosen one, before you scroll away, be still for a moment, because this message isn't here by accident. Heaven has been watching every step you've taken, every prayer you've whispered, every tear you've wiped away in silence. Every night you lay awake wondering if your life would ever change, and today, God wants you to hear these words. The doors they closed against you were never the doors I intended for your destiny. Chosen one. For a long time, you believed that if one more opportunity disappeared, you wouldn't have the strength to keep going. You watched people reject you, applications were denied, relationships ended, friendships faded, promises were broken. The people who once encouraged you suddenly became silent. Every time you thought, this is finally the opportunity God prepared for me, the door closed. Another disappointment, another unanswered prayer, another season of waiting. Slowly, you stopped expecting good news. You continued praying, but deep inside, you were afraid to hope again because disappointment had become familiar. But today, God says, just because people rejected you does not mean I rejected you. Chosen one. People only have authority over the doors they created. They cannot control the doors God has already prepared. When God decides to open a way, no company can stop it. No government can stop it. No jealous person can stop it. No lie can stop it. No delay can stop it. Because heaven's decisions are greater than human opinions. Chosen one. Think about Joseph. His brothers closed one door. They threw him into a pit. Then slavery became another closed door. Then prison became another closed door. If Joseph had judged his future by his circumstances, he would have believed his life was over. But every closed door was quietly directing him toward Pharaoh's palace. The pit wasn't the end. The prison wasn't the end. They were only part of the journey. Chosen one. Your story looks very similar. The rejection wasn't punishment, it was redirection. The relationship that ended protected your future. The opportunity you lost made room for something greater. The people who walked away created space for the people God is sending. What looked like loss was actually divine protection. Chosen one. God says, there are blessings I refused to give you earlier because you weren't standing in the place where I planned to release them. Sometimes, we become so focused on one closed door that we never notice God quietly building another entrance. We cry over what left, while heaven prepares something far greater. We fight to reopen doors that God Himself has already locked, because He knows what waits behind them. Chosen one. Remember the Israelites standing before the Red Sea. Everything looked impossible. The enemy was behind them. The sea was in front of them. There was no visible escape. Human logic said, it's over. But God created a path where no path existed. The sea obeyed His voice because impossible situations are simply opportunities for God to reveal His power. Chosen one, maybe today, you're standing in front of your own Red Sea, a financial struggle, a broken relationship, a delayed dream, a career that seems frozen, a future you cannot understand, and every voice around you says, there is no way forward. But heaven says, I don't need an open door to bless you. I can create one where none exists. Chosen one. The enemy wanted every closed door to convince you that your purpose had ended. He whispered, you're too late. You've missed your chance. Someone else has taken your place. But today, God silences every lie. He says, no one can take the place I prepared specifically for you. Your calling is still alive. Your purpose is still alive. Your promise is still alive. The delay has not canceled it. The rejection has not destroyed it. The waiting has not erased it. Chosen one. Very soon, you'll stop asking, why did that door close? Because you'll finally understand why God refused to let you walk through it. The blessing waiting ahead will make every disappointment meaningful, and you'll realize God wasn't saying no, He was saying, trust me, I have something far better. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. The door heaven is preparing cannot be locked by any human hand. Chosen one, if you're still listening, then perhaps God has brought you here because your heart has grown weary from waiting. You've smiled in front of people, but cried when no one was watching. You've told others, I'm okay, while secretly asking God, Lord, how much longer? Today, He answers, much longer than you expected, but much closer than you realize. Chosen one of the greatest lies the enemy ever whispers is this: if it hasn't happened yet, it never will. That's exactly what he wants you to believe, because if he can steal your hope, he can weaken your faith. If he can convince you to quit one day before your breakthrough, he never has to stop God's blessing. You'll stop yourself. But today, God says, do not abandon the place where your miracle is about to appear. Chosen one. Think about Abraham. God promised him descendants as countless as the stars. Yet year after year, nothing happened. Every birthday reminded him of what he still didn't have. Every passing season seemed to contradict God's promise. Human logic declared, it's impossible now. But heaven declared, is anything too hard for the Lord? When God's appointed time arrived, the impossible became reality, not because Abraham was perfect, but because God is faithful. Chosen one, the same God who fulfilled his promise to Abraham, has not forgotten the promise he placed in your heart. People may forget, friends may leave, family may misunderstand. But God never forgets what He has spoken. His promises do not expire with time. His plans are not canceled by delays. His purpose is not defeated by rejection. Chosen one, perhaps you've been trying to force doors open. You've exhausted yourself chasing opportunities, trying to convince people to believe in you, trying to earn acceptance, trying to prove your worth, and every effort has left you more tired than before. Today, God gently says, stop forcing what I never asked you to chase. Not every opportunity is your assignment. Not every invitation is your purpose. Not every open door is from me. Sometimes, the greatest blessing is not an open door. It's the wisdom to walk away from the wrong one. Chosen one. Remember Jonah? He found a ship heading exactly where he wanted to go. The door was open. Everything looked easy. But it wasn't God's direction. Just because something is available doesn't mean it's God's will. Meanwhile, Paul often found doors closed during his missionary journeys, yet those closed doors redirected him toward the places where God wanted him most. The lesson is simple. Don't judge God's will by how easy or difficult the path appears. Judge it by His peace, because the door God opens will draw you closer to His purpose. Chosen one, God says, I have been protecting you from opportunities that looked good but would have stolen your destiny. Imagine if every prayer had been answered exactly when you wanted. Imagine if every relationship had lasted. Imagine if every job had worked out. Imagine if every plan had succeeded. You might never have reached the place where God intended to bless you. Sometimes, closed doors are not punishment. They are divine protection wearing the disguise of disappointment. Chosen one. You've asked, Lord, why does everyone else seem to move ahead while I'm standing still? God replies, because I am writing a different story for you. Some blessings arrive quickly, others require deeper preparation. The greater the responsibility, the greater the preparation. Gold spends longer in the fire than ordinary metal, not because it is less valuable, but because it is more precious. Chosen one. Your waiting has not been empty. Every delay has been teaching you patience. Every rejection has been strengthening your character. Every lonely season has been drawing you closer to my heart. You have grown in ways you cannot yet see. You pray differently. You think differently. You trust differently. The person you are today is far stronger than the person who first asked God for the blessing, and that's exactly why heaven has been preparing you. Chosen one. Very soon, you'll look back and realize, if God had answered your prayer 5 years ago, you would not have been ready to carry it. The blessing stayed in heaven, not because God was withholding it, but because He was preparing you to receive it without losing yourself. And when the right moment arrives, the same people who watch doors close in your life will witness God opening one that no human power can ever shut. Because when God opens a door, it doesn't depend on human approval, it depends on His perfect timing. Chosen one. If you've stayed with me until this final part, then perhaps this message has been God's reminder that your story is far from over. Today, He wants you to stop staring at every closed door and start looking toward the one who holds every key. Because God says, I have never asked you to understand every closed door. I only asked you to trust the one who controls them all. Chosen one. For years, you believed your future depended on people saying yes. You thought one employer had to choose, one person had to love you, one opportunity had to work out, one relationship had to survive. But every time you depended on people, disappointment followed. Today, God says, your future has never depended on human permission. It has always depended on my purpose. People can reject you, but they cannot reject God's plan. People can delay you, but they cannot cancel your destiny. People can misunderstand you, but they cannot rewrite the future I have already prepared for you. Chosen one. Remember Daniel? The lion's den looked like the end of his story. His enemies celebrated. They believed every door had been closed. There was no escape, no human solution. But while men closed one door, God opened another. The lions remained silent. The king witnessed God's power, and Daniel walked out stronger than ever before. What people designed to destroy him, God used to glorify His name. Chosen one. The same God who shut the mouths of hungry lions is still working today. He is able to silence every voice speaking against your future. He is able to remove every obstacle standing in your way. He is able to make a path where none exists. Nothing is too difficult for Him. Chosen one. There were moments when you almost accepted defeat. You quietly told yourself, maybe this is just how my life will always be. You stopped dreaming, stopped expecting, stopped believing that anything extraordinary could happen. But today, God interrupts every negative thought. He says, do not build your expectations around yesterday's disappointments. Build them around my promises. Your past is not your prophecy. Your failures are not your identity. Your delays are not your destination. I have the final word over your life, chosen one. God says, the door I am about to open will not only bless you, it will reveal my faithfulness to everyone who watched you struggle. People saw you cry, they saw you lose, they saw opportunities disappear. Some even whispered, it's over for them. But they never saw heaven working behind the scenes. They never saw angels arranging what human eyes could not see. They never saw God protecting you from battles you didn't even know existed. Chosen one. One day, you'll understand why those prayers seemed unanswered. Because if God had said yes too soon, you would have settled for something far smaller than His best. Sometimes, God says wait because His best blessing is still being prepared, not delayed. Prepared. There is a difference. Chosen one. Very soon, a single phone call, a single meeting, a single conversation, a single opportunity could completely change the direction of your life. That's how quickly God can move. Years of waiting can be transformed by one moment of divine favor. Never underestimate what God can accomplish in one day. Chosen one. When that door finally opens, walk through it with humility. Don't boast. Don't seek revenge against those who rejected you. Don't spend your energy proving people wrong. Instead, give God every bit of the glory. Because your testimony isn't meant to say, look how great I am. It's meant to say, look how faithful God has been. Chosen one. There will come a day when someone asks, "How did everything change so suddenly?" You'll smile because you'll remember the hidden years, the nights of prayer, the tears no one saw, the doors that kept closing, the moments you almost gave up, yet chose to trust God one more time. They'll call it luck, you'll call it grace, they'll call it coincidence, you'll call it God's perfect timing. Chosen one. As this message comes to an end, hold on to this promise. Every closed door had a purpose, every delay had a lesson, every disappointment protected you from something you couldn't see, every painful season strengthened your faith. Nothing has been wasted, not one prayer, not one tear, not one act of obedience. God has been weaving every part of your journey into a testimony that will inspire countless others. So don't stop believing, don't stop praying, don't stop trusting. Keep walking by faith, even when you cannot yet see the door, because the God who closed what wasn't meant for you is now preparing to open what no one can ever shut. And when that door opens, no enemy will be able to close it, no lie will be able to stop it, no person will be able to steal it, because it carries your name, and it has been prepared by God Himself. Chosen one. Every closed door has been leading you to the one door that will change your life forever. Stay faithful. Your season of divine favor, supernatural breakthrough, and God's perfect provision is closer than you think. The waiting is almost over. The door God opens next will change everything.